Welcome to Changing Lives. We are on the path to success. And if you want to achieve success, then it only means that you need to employ good habits. Now the question does arise, how many days does it actually take to form a good habit? And that is the focus of our show today. Now, Tanya, there's a theory out there that it takes 21 days in order to create or break a habit. Is there any truth to that?
So in the 1950s, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, a plastic surgeon, wrote a white paper by observing casually some of his patients who might have had a nose change or facial reconstruction, or maybe they had a prosthetic limb, something that had involved some form of plastic surgery. And it came out that it took them approximately 21 days to get used to their new look. And then the media took hold of that, and all the speakers and motivational speakers started a whole series about 21 days to make a habit. Now, Philip Palali et al. Did a real case study. I think they had something like 267 respondents. I'm not sure of that exact number. And they then checked to see that it was actually approximately 66 days to either make a habit or break a habit. But they also went on to say it's dependent on the habit and it's dependent on the individual.
So is this the reason then why that the series is 67 days?
That's exactly why. So what we're trying to do is, even if each episode might not roll on from another or you watch it intermittently, the fact that you are being reminded to be positive for 67 days, obviously the pilot plus 66 days, will help you to start building the habit. So what actually happens in your brain, if I may explain this to you?
Yes, please.
Is that most of the world, they're hazarding a guess that about 95% of the world is stuck in what we call the amygdala, which is your fight or flight center of the brain. And what we're trying to do is get to people to think in their neocortex, which is the positive part of the brain, essentially. I mean, obviously, there's a lot more science and biology to this, so I'm not going to go into the whole biology lesson of it. But when we're in the fight or flight or freeze center of the brain, we send out a lot of negative hormones like epinephrine and cortisol, and it debilitates the body. It causes depression and all sorts of things. When you're thinking in the positive part of the brain, which is more conscious, you send out enabling hormones, which help you to see life differently.
So we're at the beginning then of this 66-day journey. What's the one habit that you would change then if you had to undergo this journey?
Well, I would say, because I've gone through this, I would choose where I want to go, and I'd habitually do all those things. So I would find a series of habits, that maybe 3 maximum, that would enable me to be a better self. So for example, maybe eating better, exercising, meditating, reading something, learning something new every day. What is going to take you closer to your goal if you do it?
Now, how do we keep ourselves accountable, now that we're on the 66-day journey? We're obviously going to be here reminding you on a day-to-day basis, but what are some of the things that you can do at home in order to make sure that you stay true to your goals?
Well, it's nice to actually have an accountable other where possible, or there's some incredible apps out there that you could download and you could work on, the habit apps, to be accountable to yourself. But it's really easy to make an excuse to yourself, like, should I go to gym today? No, it's feeling too cold outside, But if you're meeting somebody at gym, your chances of going there are far greater, or if there's a consequence to it.
So what would be your ultimate take-home then in terms of the 66-day journey? We now know that 21 days is a myth. 66 days is what you need, and you get 1 extra day of just looking at us because we decided 67 days is what we need. But what would be the ultimate message?
So the ultimate message really would be, remember that if you failed in the past because you tried for 21 days and it didn't work, it wasn't you. You weren't the problem. 21 days were. And you really have to invest in it. You've got to invest in it for at least, let's call it 3 months, to really make a shift and change.
In an upcoming episode, you can look forward to a discussion on visualization. I commonly see this on Twitter, people putting out their goals with candles next to them, manifesting their dreams. Does that actually work? We'll look into the power of visualization.
That's fantastic advice. So what we're going to do is follow the 67 episodes, 66 to create the habit, 67 would be the one extra one we gave you to introduce you to the series and to really take yourself from good to great.